Did she or didn't she? Rick and Morty fans are losing their minds over Beth's clone decision. Today we're answering the biggest question of season 3 so far. Did Beth take the clone option? Now we shouldn't need to say this, but if you're not caught up on Rick and Morty, we've got some serious spoilers here. So now would be a good time to grab yourself a portal gun and go for a self-contained adventure.
Whoa! Yeah! Atlantis, baby!
The ABCs of Beth took us to some very dark, nihilistic places, which is exactly what we've come to expect from the sci-fi comedy. Of course, the brightly colored, super safe dreamland Rick constructed for child Beth was turned into a bastion of bestiality, incest, cannibalism, because of course it was. But in addition to the Craster's Keep edition of Candyland, this episode opened up yet another possibility which messes with the continuity of the main family unit and has us wondering, did Beth choose to have Rick replace her with a clone so that she could finally sow her wild space oats? Lots of fans were left wondering what Beth really chose since we never really see her pick. Smart move on Roiland and Harmon's part, because leaving that question unanswered will undoubtedly keep fans weaving lots of theories during the next between seasons break. And we've already seen the conspiracy spinning on the interwebs, like this meme from Beth Truther at Lauren Macy. Me trying to figure out if Beth was real or a clone. But really, did Beth choose to be replaced with a Beth clone? Let's weigh the evidence. Since the very beginning of Rick and Morty, Beth has had no chill whatsoever when it comes to how much she regrets starting a family so young. Beth getting pregnant at 17 and subsequently marrying Jerry, what they both thought was the most responsible choice to make for the sake of their kids, has haunted Beth and the rest of the family. She definitely has not hid her regret and discontentment from her kids, and we have seen all of the family bring this up in both heated moments and as casual throwaway lines. While Beth carries around some major regrets about her life choices, she also has a history of idolizing her dad. At the start of the show, we saw this in her constant defense of Rick's science experiments gone awry, brushing off Jerry's concerns about the threat Rick poses to the family's safety. Beth's defense of dear old mad scientist dad even includes him abandoning her as a child, showing that Beth's desire for connection and validation from him goes deeper than even that fatherly offense. But as we learned from this episode, Beth's constant defense of her dad's worst qualities actually makes a lot of sense. Now we know that Beth herself was a bit of a homicidal evil genius child, and Rick feared what she would become if he enabled her to continue to explore her murderous side. And although we think Rick's greatest act of fatherly love was making Beth a ladybug-shaped taser and a sentient stabbing knife, we're now realizing that, in a super screwed up way, Rick's actual act of fatherly love might have been removing himself from her life so that she would not end up like him. But really, that shit never works. Beth's nihilistic tendencies were always there, and whether Rick had stayed or not, Beth gonna Beth. So offering his daughter the clone option, a chance to do what he did, to leave her family to explore the universe and satisfy her nihilistic curiosity, but without causing a disruption to the family, seems like the kindest thing Rick could ever do for her. Now, back to the question of whether or not Beth actually took that out. In the last scene where she's ordering pizza for her family, Beth seems pretty content. Remember that just a few episodes ago, she was building a mini horse sculpture out of horse hooves, a gruesome artistic outlet that seemed to scratch the surface of Beth's darker tendencies. So yeah, contentedly ordering pizza for her family seems pretty out of character for the Beth that we've seen all season, especially after going back to her childhood interests, murdering her friend Tommy, and all of his incest food babies.
So, you doy-oy? People should eat people.
That said, this is me personally, who doesn't like pizza, right? I mean, I'm pretty content every time I order it. But with all of that said, it seems fairly obvious to us that Beth took the clone option, but the bigger question is, will the real Beth ever come back? And honestly, does she even need to? With her familial obligations taken care of, will her need to live out her nihilistic tendencies be overcome by her love for her children? Remember how Rick describes love? Love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed. It hits hard, Morty, and then it slowly fades, leaving you stranded in a failing marriage. Break the cycle, Morty. But what do you think? Is Beth breaking the cycle by piecing out and leaving her clone behind to tend to the family? Will this Beth become evil Beth? Would evil Beth and evil Morty team up, or would they be mortal enemies? Let's discuss. And be sure to like and subscribe, and hey, guess what premiered today? It is my brand new show, Bizarre States LA. Andrew Bowser and I explore all of the weirdness, oddities, and the unexplained around different LA spots. And no, we're not talking about Hollywood Boulevard. You can check it out at projectalpha.com, where you can also sign up for a free 30-day trial. Check it out, it's the best!